Hello friends, family, world. Luke here with another video. For those of you unfamiliar with our channel, my husband Tyler and I make weekly travel videos documenting our experiences since moving from North America to the UK. In today's video, we make the trip up from where we live in Kent to two of the three counties that make up East Anglia, Norfolk and Suffolk. Let's dive right in. It's a bit of a drive from Maidstone up to East Anglia, so what we ended up deciding to do was we rented a car on Friday evening and drove it as far north as we could to the city of Norwich in Norfolk, and that way we were able to get up the next day bright and early and get as much exploring done as possible. We made our way north from Norwich to the northern coast to Old Hunstanton Beach. We loved walking along the gorgeous pebble beach with the ocean to our right and stunning cliff views to our left. Other highlights were an old shipwreck along the shore and these really beautiful mossy rocks that I had not seen on other beaches before, and I found quite distinctive, unique, and beautiful. Our second stop was to an English heritage site called Acre Priory. These are ruins dating back to the year 1089 and are located in the town of Acre. These castle ruins were beautiful to walk around, and we enjoyed having the place mostly to ourselves. Nearby is the Acre Castle. We headed back to the north coast, this time to the Holkham National Nature Reserve, which features lovely walking paths as well as sand dunes. You can even ride a bike from here to the popular nearby town of Wells next to the sea along a well-paved and well-marked bike path. Since we had our car parked here and no bikes on hand, we ended up driving to Wells next to the sea instead. You'll find that this region has some uniquely named and at times grammatically questionable towns, with Wells next to the sea being a prime example. We enjoyed walking through the city and along its waterfront. Next up, we drove through Clay next to the sea and Sheringham on our way to Cromer. We honestly wish that we had had more time here. The drive was really special, really beautiful, and it just had a really magical feel to it. I will also say that Cromer was probably my favorite town of the whole weekend. Maybe one day we will have another opportunity to visit here on a slower paced weekend that's just focused on this area. We found Cromer to be very different to the seaside towns that we had grown familiar with in southeastern England. There's a beautiful cliff walk that takes you along the cliffs and through the town that is really honestly a must-do if visiting the town. We stayed the night in Norwich, and the next morning we woke up bright and early, walked up a little bit up the road to the Cathedral of St. John the Baptist. Even though it was 7:30 in the morning on a Sunday, we were surprised to learn that the visitor center and church itself were open to visitors, and that we had the place to ourselves, exploring some of the beautiful exteriors and interiors of the church before Mass began. Once we finished our experience in Norwich, we got back in the car and made our way to what's called Happisburgh Lighthouse. This lighthouse is the oldest working lighthouse in all of East Anglia and is also the only independently operated lighthouse of all of Great Britain. There's just something so beautiful to me about lighthouses. We ventured onward to Aldeburgh, officially entering the county of Suffolk. We walked along the beach and through the downtown area, enjoying the crisp, cool air and the bright sunlight. It was here that I finally understood British people's affinity with brisk walks on the beach. If you're in Aldeburgh, they're also famous for their fish and chips. Once done in Aldeburgh, we continued to the major city of Suffolk, which is Ipswich. We arrived and parked our car serendipitously at Christchurch Park, which is a nice area to explore of the city. We walked through the park and got nice views of Christchurch Mansion. We walked a bit through the city to the Ipswich waterfront, which we found was quite different from the waterfronts that we had grown used to in England. And we actually found that it was quite a bit more modern than we typically see here. In some ways, we actually felt like we were back in North America because of the more modern architecture. Our final two stops of the weekend were the smaller and more historic Lavenham and Cavendish. Lavenham is a feast for the eyes, with its meticulously preserved medieval cottages with their distinctive roofs and famous guild hall. One of the cottages in town was used as Harry Potter's birthplace in the movies. We found Cavendish to be a bit simpler than Lavenham, but we did find that it was still charming and historic to walk around and explore. Alright guys, that is it for this video. If you haven't already, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't already. Be sure to stay tuned for future travel-related content every Thursday. Hope to see you soon. Bye.